This is gonna be a long one. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Welcome back. Welcome back to part 2 of my mid-year collection check-in. In this, I'm just gonna go through my titles. I'll tell you a little bit about why they're here, and if I've read them, will I read them? And just kind of how they ended up here. So Absolute Boyfriend. Absolute Boyfriend was one of the first manga I ever read. And that was way back in the day, like in the early, okay, I'm not gonna say early. Yeah, in the early 2000s when I first discovered manga and I used to read scans online. Back in the day, well, I mean, that was the only way available for me to read them. So yeah, and that's why it's in my collection today, just because you know, like I couldn't then, but now I can support. But also, yeah, that's also why it's so high up on my shelf. You know, it has a little bit more sentimental reading meaning as well. A Silent Voice. Now y'all know I love A Silent Voice. And yes, I have read that. Of course, I've read it. Because I watched the movie years ago actually, and when I started collecting I knew that I was gonna add that. Also I rewatched it. I rewatched it like early, maybe like late last year, no, mid last year, and I also thought this one, I saw it too, I really wasn't really quite satisfied with everything that went on, so I knew that I wanted to get the manga and just kind of get the full breadth of the story, and I was very glad to read it and just like find out just a little bit more detail about what happened before the movie and then a little bit after as well. So great read, absolutely love that series. But yeah, Beastar, love me some Beastar. I'm not up to date with that. I have read up to volume 10, so I just wait until I have all the volumes. I absolutely love the anime and I just had to get in on that shit. Like, it's good. Beck, oh my gosh, Beck, Mongolian Chop Squad. That Beck, I remember the first time I watched that anime, it was in 2008. Okay, Beck, I remember I watched that. I absolutely loved the anime and the music. Oh my gosh, it was great. So I always knew that I would collect it, but it's so hard to find. The shit's out of print. DN Angel, oh my gosh, that's the first one of the first series I actually got the whole thing. I got a really good deal on that. I think I paid like $40 for it. I won it at an eBay auction like way back early 2019. Yeah, DN Angel. I have not read it. I've not read that shit. Shame on me, I know. Man, Wonderland was the one that made me just, all right, I'm gonna collect this shit. So like I watched the anime and I was like, no way, there's not gonna be a season 2. Are y'all kidding me? So I had to buy it. I really had to buy it, and I slowly, after collecting most of Dead Man Wonderland, I was like, you know what? Maybe I should really start getting into this collecting thing. And so Dead Man Wonderland was like the one that just made me, you know, like dive into this whole thing. Kare Kano, listen, it took me forever to really fully collect the series, and that was really early back in my collecting stages. So like I didn't care if it was X library. I just want to continue this damn story, and I was just like pushing and pushing. So like I have the full thing, the set now, but I'm just like, it's so ugly on my shelf. Where am I? Mars, oh my gosh. Mars was the second manga I ever read. Mars was also what got me into watching dramas too. Like Mars opened up a whole world for me. I read Absolute Boyfriend, and then I was looking for something similar, you know, and of course there's nothing similar to Absolute Boyfriend. It's a mess. But I read Mars and I was like, oh man, I wish I could read more of this story. And at the time, I really couldn't find anything that was similar to either of those titles. So when I found out that there was an actual show, I was like, ooh, what is this? So I watched the drama, Heartstrings. You got me by the heartstrings. Oh my gosh. That was the third drama I ever watched. And then, oh, You're Beautiful. And then I discovered Kang Jung-suk. And then I watched Very Stayed Out All Night. And it was just like a whole thing. And for the next 10 years, I would go on to just watching dramas. So Mars did that, right? The Way of the House Husband. I absolutely love this. I think it's so funny. I'm very disappointed though by the way how the Netflix anime thing was done. Like, I'm not happy. I was also very excited to see, like, I don't know, it was some kind of promotional trailer, I think, a year or two ago that came out. I thought that there was going to be a drama. I'm really not up on the news like that. If it comes out and I find it whoopee, if not, then I just never know. I need to be on top of that, but I'm not. I got things to do, so like whatever. But when I saw the anime, I was like, ooh, I love this show. And then I watched it, like, oh, what is this stop motion shit? I don't like this. I don't like this. Anyway, Trigun Maximum. I don't know if, have you guys ever heard of Ollie's Good Stuff Cheap? So I went in there one day, and I always check out the book section, and I found 2 volumes of Trigun Maximum, and I was like, oh my gosh, they have manga. What? I'll be honest with you, I picked it up because I did see a few episodes of the anime growing up, and so I was like, oh, I know this story, let me get it. After 2 years of really trying to find this, I have one complete collection of Trigun and Trigun Maximum, and like one almost complete version of set of Trigun. I'm really only missing 1 volume of it, and then I have a few extras that are kind of lying around that I do plan to get rid of soon. I'm trying to get rid of all of them, to be honest with you. Have I read it? I've tried. Anyway, Love is Hard for an Otaku. So this was one of the books that I picked up alongside The Way of the House Husband the day that I discovered Books A Million, and I absolutely love it. I love it. It's so good. It is one of the best manga that I've read so far, and I can't wait. I think it's a couple months, and maybe 2 or 3 months more before volume 5 comes out, and I'm super excited. So excited. But yeah, I also watched the anime, and I was thoroughly thrilled. You know how I said it was gonna be 2 parts? I gotta make it 3 because this is ridiculous. So I am really gonna cut out some of the unimportant stuff. So just so you know, if you guys really do care about any title that I missed and want to know why it's in my collection, just let me know. I can always, you know, throw it up there if the world cares, which I doubt, so like whatever. But thank you for watching. Thank you for coming back. Thank you for making it to the end. Like, really. Like, who wants to hear people just kind of like ramble on about this stuff? I don't know, but if you're out there, thanks. But yeah, feel free to like and subscribe. I'll see you again next time, and yeah.